Good evening, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to Speed Gaming Live 2024 presentation of the Mega Man All Stages tournament. This will be a semifinals matchup between ColonelFatso and werking34. So yeah, we're going to start up here in just a few. Looks like both runners are ready to go here. So this will be a semifinal matchup between Working is the number 2 seed in the tournament. ColonelFatso is the number 6 seed in the tournament. So we will see how we do today. ColonelFatso has won his previous 2 matchups, 2-0. He did take out the number 3 seed, Cortina Cow, as well. And Working was able to win his previous round matchup. And here we go, we're on our way. Right, apologies for that. Okay, so here we go. We're on our way now. So yeah, we're going to start off with Cutman stage. The first stage in the run is the first of the 6 Robot Masters. So we have 6 Robot Master stages, 4 Wily stages, 10 stages total in the run. So yeah, so basically, so Cutman stage is mainly vertical stage here. We'll see a couple little small little tricks, but it's pretty straightforward otherwise. We got some music here. So we can see right away, like this little trick here, exclusive to Mega Man 1 is, so Mega Man 1 has a separate pause button from the menu button. It's the so basically what happens is when you use that pause button to use the, you're basically buffering the damage. So you don't take that long knockback animation, so you're just canceling that out. It's one of the main speed tricks in the run, actually, so it's a pretty cool little feature there. Coming up here on ColonelFatso's screen and workings, we'll see the wraparound ladder grab there, which is a nice little feature of the NES there. Yeah, you can grab, if the ladder is at the bottom of the screen, you can grab it from the top of the screen and just skip the whole screen. So yeah. So we're coming into the end of Cutman stage here. We're coming into the Cutman fight. And we'll see how both runners handle that. It is magic. NES magic. We got a little Cutman dance here. So you can see on working screen, and ColonelFatso's doing it now too. You take a little damage there if you have the health to speed up the fight a little bit. And with those the orb grabs there, you want to try to grab them as quick as you can. It's opposite of like Mario 3, for instance, where you want to let the wand fall to you. Here, you want to grab it as soon as you can, because that's when the stage ends on that orb grab there. So good first stage from both runners. So we're going into the second stage of the run, which is Elecman, which is also another primarily vertical level. Mega Man 1 has quite a few of these vertical levels, which they kind of deviate away from when later on in the series, but Elecman, though, stage is going to feature a few very difficult tricks and really starts to show how broken this game can be in a good way for speedrunning. So here we have everyone's favorite Yoku blocks, these disappearing blocks here. They thought it was such a great idea in Mega Man 1 that they continued it throughout the entire series there. Both runners getting that tricky corner jump, making it look easy. That jump is not easy, and that one in particular, if you miss it, is a big time loss. So, good for both runners for getting that first try. As we continue to climb up these ladders, you definitely see these shooting these enemies off the screen here. You want to shoot them as quick as you can, because if you get shot by one of them, slows you down, knocks you off the ladder, takes unnecessary damage, which is going to mess up your strats for later in the stage. But here's one of the big tricks in Electman stage. This is the early magnet beam grab here. So essentially what you have to do is you have to push shoot and down on the same frame, and oh no! Oh, that is unfortunate. Yeah, so the big thing about that trick is when you're sneaking into the wall there to grab the magnet beam weapon, if you slide in too far, you get stuck in there, and unfortunately with the route that you take here, there's no way out. It's a soft lock and a reset, so that's you hate to see it in a race. But yeah, actually, not entirely sure what happened, because he was out. Yeah, so Fatso did get the grab, and he got out of the wall. I think he turned back around. I'm not really sure, but he popped right back into the wall, yeah. So we see working screen here, doing the elect beam climb here at the end. Actually got hit by that first laser, I believe, and then took too much damage, so it takes the death there. Second hardest trick in this stage. Arguably the hardest trick in the stage, depending on who you ask, is this magnet beam climb here at the end of Electman stage. I believe he's out of magnet beams now, so Working's just going to take the slow climb up. Yeah, I guess maybe going for that top exit and then just kind of snuck back in there. Alright, so for Working is going to take on Electman here. So Electman is weak to cut, its weapon. So the pause buffering, not only does it negate knockback damage for Mega Man, but it also allows you to quickly kill bosses, because when you pause while weapons within the enemy's hitbox, the iframes run out as the game is paused. So you just pause and unpause while the weapon's in the hitbox, and then you just continually do damage that way. And we'll see that with a lot of these fights here. Alright, so the third stage of the run, as you see on Working screen, is going into Iceman stage. So now that we have the magnet beam weapon, we're really going to see just how useful it is and why you want to get it as soon as you can. Because you're basically going to use the magnet beam here. You're going to see Working on Working screen here, getting a little zip there. So you're going to use the magnet beam to set up a lot of these pixel perfect zips here. So every single one of these magnet beam placements are pixel perfect. Some of them do have semi-consistent setups for them, but you know, this is the way Working's doing them. It's just pure muscle memory, placing these beams right at the right place, right time. So that was a pretty great stage, or nice ice as we call it. We'll see if we can get these last days. So these last couple zips here in the stage, we call these the corridor zips. So again, you're setting up the same pixel perfect beam placements here to just zip through these corridors a lot faster. I believe if you get both of them pretty good, you can save about like I think it's like 2 seconds, I believe. Yeah, it appears that Working's audio is not working at the moment. Yeah, so apologies for that. A pretty standard Iceman fight there. And these you can do these corridor zips in the rest of these Robot Master stages. So we'll see both the runners try to get those at the end. So the next stage is Fireman stage. The intended way around here is just a long winding path, but you just use a magnet beam there just to clip right through. Nice little beam setup there. So you see Working use the ladder to set up that zip beam. So that's just another instance of just using a visual cue to set up that pixel perfect beam that you need. And this looks like a pretty good setup for Working too. Another little trick there, using the refills to try to set up that first beam to make sure that it's set up there. This was, oh, he's going for, it was a fairly newer, well, I guess it's newer, and it's not really much new anymore, but there's a little zip you can do to skip that kind of last stretch of that screen there. And then we're going to see the final zip fireman stage here. Again, using the ladder to as a visual cue to set up that last beam there. Now that last zip is very involved, because it's not just setting up that zip beam. You actually have to jump into the next screen at the correct height, I guess, if you will, to grab that invisible ladder there. If you do it at the wrong time, you get what's called the bad pixel, which means you can't initiate that final zip, so you take a death and you have to restart from, basically from before that screen. So it's kind of scary, especially in like a no reset situation like this. But Werking was able to get it through no problem. Makes quick work of Fireman, and we'll go on to the next stage. We'll see ColonelFatso coming up to the magnet beam climb here at the end of the Legman stage. Gets the first half, no problem. So that beam came out a little slow, but I'm gonna get the second, like the backup there. Very nice. So the next stage in the run on Werking side here is Bomb Man stage. So like the others, Bomb Man stage is going to feature some zips that again require these pixel perfect setups with the magnet beam. We'll see the magnet beam used here, not just for zipping, but it's going to be used to just traverse this screen, because this Sniper Joe enemy is really annoying. He's actually going for a zip setup there right in the beginning, which we like to call Joe No Mo. Didn't get it.
There.
Oh, hey, Conster, welcome.
What did I miss?
Well,
everything.
Yeah, unfortunately, Fatso got stuck in the NB jail, so it was a bit behind.
Ooh, seems like there's been a couple of runners that have been getting that.
Yeah, but he's making a nice recovery. He's having having a good run afterwards, anyways. Werking is having a fantastic run as well. Not really many mistakes. Yeah, you did take a death in Legman on the climb, but
yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I think Werking's third on the leaderboard, something like that.
Yeah. So yeah, Werking is PB is in 1824, which is third place on the leaderboard. Yeah. So yeah, very accomplished runner, but yeah, I mean, really anything can happen in this game, as you can see, if you've seen already. ColonelFatso's PB just got a recent PB of 1940, but still had a lot of time to save on that PB too. So don't expect nothing less from ColonelFatso. If this
both of these runs are very accomplished, classic mega runner.
Oh, for sure, yeah. So we see Werking in the final stage of the Robot Masters, which is Gutsman. So you got a little zip set up there. Tries to set up the zip at the end of the stage there, or at the end of that stretch, I should say.
Werking's just making it look easy.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, with all these beam setups, or like these like pixel perfect setups, and there's a lot of like buffer strats and stuff like that. But Werking's doing a lot just straight muscle memory, which is always it's always really cool to see.
Yeah, like it's really hard to like stop playing a game and then just come back.
Yeah. And he did, Werking did get both of those corridor zips there too, just flawlessly. And it's gonna come to the Gutsman fight.
Yeah, because I know I had a little bit of difficulty coming back trying to remember how to do the fire zip.
Oh yeah. Yeah, same. Had a little trouble with the Gutsman fight, but
unfortunately no aforementioned grab.
Yeah.
Maybe we can get it in round 2.
Yeah, fight's tough depending on which way Gutsman jumps and where you place your bomb. Because sometimes he'll just kind of sneak away from that last explosion there. And the bomb man's weapon is not great in this game.
Even with Fatso getting that ND jail it's definitely seeming like he's making quite a recovery.
Yeah, really, you know, no major mistakes since then. So it's having a good run. So we see working is into the first of the 4 Wily stages now. Just like the rest of the stages, we're going to use Magnet Beam to just make quick work of the stage. So this is one of those buffer zip setups that we've been kind of alluding to. These were found years back, mainly by Cartina Cat, who was in the tournament previously. But it's really made a lot of these pixel perfect zip setups just more accessible to all of us, really, honestly. This one in particular, the Wily 1 I personally think is the biggest one, because previously to set that zip up is just really difficult. So this screen here that working's on is easily one of the most scary screens in the entire run. It might not look like it, but those platform enemies are complete RNG, probably the biggest source of RNG in the run, and sometimes they can just kind of ruin your day on that. So Mega Man 1 is different from the other classic Mega Man games, where in other games, if you take damage, you can still walk across spikes before your iframes run out, where in this game, as soon as you touch the spikes, you're dead regardless. So.
Also, with those platforms, while they're shooting, there's a chance that they have no hitbox. So
yeah, that's why I said if you ever see any of our runners like try to step on those platforms, just like, you know, hold your breath, because it could lead to disaster.
I know that from first-hand experience.
Oh yeah. Well, before we can even talk about the Yellow Devil fight, it's over. So nice fight from Working. Yeah, so then for Fatso, they was trying to set up this last bomb zip. We didn't really get to talk about it before, but using the ladder as a visual cue to set this beam up. So sometimes, I think you can get sub-pixeled, so the end of the beam doesn't touch the end of the ladder. So when you go to jump off of it, jump off the ladder onto the beam, you actually fall right through. One way to kind of avoid that, as you saw Fatso did it the second time, is to shoot 2 beams instead of 1. And it kind of
I think he did that the first time. And
did he? Oh, I didn't even see that. Oh, wow, that's pretty unlucky then, I would have to say.
Yeah, definitely super unlucky there.
Yeah. Alright, so Working coming into Wily 2 is going to opt out of the skips here, which I don't blame them for doing that. Again, abusing the pause buffer glitch there to make quick work of Electman. I've always been a fan of these refight style, where it's kind of in line with the stage versus like the teleporters that they used in later
Really?
games. Yeah, I think this is much more. It's
so you're a fan
fun.
of X1 style too?
Yeah. Rockman Forte does the same thing as well.
I mean, to a degree, I feel it's definitely different, but it can be annoying for some.
Sure.
Because especially you don't get refills in Mega Man 1. They're like, you gotta be prepared. One and done.
Fatso got the zip on the Gutsman stage, so you can see that. And then Working is in the Copy Robot fight. So usually we use Fireman's weapon here, which I believe is the main weakness of this particular boss. It's a pretty
just jump and shoot.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's pretty. It is. There is a little bit of a rhythm to it, but it's nothing too crazy.
We got the grab.
Fatso reporting in the chat, and he's just getting all the silly stuff out of the way first, so that way we can see two PBs in the next 2 races. So I hope so. That would be really cool. All right, so Working is into Wily 3. We're gonna again using the Magnet Beam here to set up these screen wraps here, and then gonna fall into this screen, get this last beam set up to perfect, and then just using
smash start.
Yeah, again, just using the pause there, you're able to. So the main thing is you can't menu while there's an active item on the screen. So because that Magnet Beam is still on the screen, when you're hitting the start button, you're basically like canceling out teleport animation, I guess, if you will. So it just kind of zips you across that final stretch of the screen. So
no dupes.
yeah, before we can even talk about it, for this this boss fight, the weakness is using Gutsman weapon to pick up those blocks and throw them at the enemy.
Unfortunate for Fatso, missing the zip.
Yeah, I know how painful this is. This happened to me in one of my races here. I was just like, it's the worst feeling. But I got through those jumps though. Those jumps are so much harder than they look. I can't say that enough. But yeah, for that Wily 3 fight, you only get 4 blocks, but it takes 7 to kill the enemy. So what you need to do is like duplicate the blocks. We call them dupes. Basically, you have to push the shoot button as the last piece of the block leaves the edge of the screen to you duplicate another block. So we didn't see any there, but hopefully we'll see some later on. All right, nice setup there for working for that first zip through Wily 4.
That setup just looks awesome. Oh my god, working.
Well, it's good to be. So I think it was a pixel low there on that final zip. It's good to better be a pixel low than a pixel high because yeah. I guess this is pretty good strategy here from working to actually just go through these refights. So there's a trick to skip this section of the refights using the magnet beam. I'm pretty sure I don't think they're out of magnet beam. I think it's just we got one left. Okay. I mean,
at somebody of his skill level, he should know how to do the bomb setup.
Oh no, yeah, I'm sure. But I'm assuming that working knows the positioning in the race, so is electing to kind of just take any shenanigans from happening and just go through the refights, you know, and just
yeah. I was about to say, does he have no lives?
That could be it too, actually. Yeah, maybe.
No, but when he paused, he had 2. So.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Which maybe he just wanted to show the refights.
But yeah, we're on the final fight for working. Time's going to be at the final hit of the second phase. So you're going to use the fireman's weapon here as the weakness for both phases. All right, and that's going to be time for working.
I will set up the next race room for these runners.
So we get a race time, a stream time of 20 minutes 52 seconds. The GG is to working there on the first race. Yeah, the 1 HP there at the end. Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's a good point. I didn't even think about that point because usually when you do the boss skip there, you take a death, so you come up with full health. So usually health is never a concern on that Wily fight. So yeah. But because working went through the refights as intended by the developers, had a little less health than you normally would there. So yeah, I didn't even consider that. I wasn't even paying attention to that. That was a good catch. Nice. ColonelFatso's taking on the copy robot now. A little different strategy here is going with a kind of top-down shooting strategy, which works.
I mean, whatever strat works for you, it's a strat that works.
Yeah, I was gonna say sometimes I do this if I'm like practicing and I'm like, you know, like just kind of messing around, but it works just the same. I mean, it's just the same. So. So yeah, this will be a best of 3 format here. So working did win the first race. So first runner to win 2 races will be the winner of tonight's competition. So if ColonelFatso wins the next race, we will see a race 3 for. So yeah. And the winner of this race will go on to the finals of the tournament to face the #1 seed, Andy. Andy's had a little bit. Andy's had a couple scares too. I mean, the last 2 rounds has won 2-1, so should be a good matchup. Whoever pulls out of this one today. All right, let's see if ColonelFatso gets some dupe there. We got one deep. One right at the end there. And it's different depending on which side of the screen you throw the block off of, because if you throw it off the left side of the screen, the last block that leaves the screen is going completely like horizontally straight. If you throw it off the right side of the screen, the last block is going diagonal up and to the right, so it's a little different timing for both sides.
I actually never knew that.
Yeah. And it actually also depends on what you're playing on too. So if you're playing this on like an old CRT TV where the edges might be cut off, then your timing is going to be different than someone who's playing on like a like an LCD or whatever.
Yeah, I mean like there's probably still a good few of us that still play on CRT.
All right, nice little zip set up there. That's
I might start going for that, like,
Oh, nice. Got that last zip into the teleporter. You gotta be careful on that one, too, not to set that beam too far, because you can over-zip it, and, I don't know if it's a complete soft lock, but you definitely, zip yourself off the edge of the screen, so... but yeah, ColonelFatso will be coming up to the final fight, so, ColonelFatso did, reset the timer here as well, like, when it got the soft lock. But you can just see how well the rest of the, how well this, this run went, because it's a pretty comparable time to what Working had, too. As you can see with the refight skip there, no need to worry about health, so you just get in there, get as many hits as you can, and that's time for Fatso.
So, like, the official time from race time is a 25-14 when finished. If that gives you any indication of how much time he lost.
Yeah, basically, what you figure like 4 minutes.
4 and some change.
Crazy, but nice recovery there, and GG's to both runners. Really good stuff in both for both runners there. But Working does take the first.
Let me see if the runners are ready to go or if they need more.
Yeah, the first race of this series can always be a tough one. I know for myself too, like sometimes the nerves are running kind of high, even if you've done this like a million times before. So yeah, we'll
it
see.
Looks like our runners are just ready to go into race 2.
No, yeah, let's go. Like, see. Yeah, thanks again, everyone, for joining us for the semifinal matchup of the Mega Man All Stages tournament, put on by Speedgaming Live 2024. Also, just make sure to give both of these runners a follow at their Twitch channels. Both, as we said earlier, both amazing Mega Man runners.
Very accomplished runner.
Yeah. Arguably some of the best, to ever do it. So yeah, definitely deserve a follow for sure. Especially if you're.
I love how
you're into that.
Even though it makes no difference between Rockman and Mega Man, I just like the title screen.
Yeah. This is the only difference between you see the Japanese version on Fatso's side and then the US version on Working side. This is literally the only difference between the two is the screen.
Yeah, there's no gameplay, everything is different. No special glitches for Japanese or anything.
All right, and we're off on race number 2. Interesting. So I was just about to say that we're gonna see both runners start off in Cutman again, but Working is throwing a little wrench in that and is actually starting with Gutsman. I can't imagine that was an accident because Cutman is the default Robot Master that you're on, so when you push start, you just mash start into the first stage of the run.
Maybe you want to guess race 3?
Well, either that or so. Basically, I mean, you can. So Gutsman is a it's a viable starting stage. Basically, if you're starting with Gutsman, you are taking out the possibility of what happened to Colonel Fatso in the first race of getting stuck grabbing the magnet beam, because now Guts's weapon is the intentional way to get the magnet beam, because you take those blocks out of the way, throw them out of the way, and then you grab the item.
Here's the question: do you think he's just being a little self-cautious and thinking, "Oh, I might accidentally"?
I'm curious to ask about that, because that was my first thought. Is like, hey, I saw this happen in the first race. Let me just play it safe. But it could be another thing too, where, as we talked about before, Working's PB is at the moment now is over a minute faster than ColonelFatso, so Working might even feel confident enough that even by doing this route, that still has enough to stay ahead and win the race.
I feel.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see if it see how it plays out. This will be interesting.
Maybe he's just confident in both routes that he can do whichever way he feels.
Yeah, I mean, and it's even, nothing's really going to change. I mean, Guts was really going to be the biggest factor here. Everything else is you're going to see is going to be essentially the same. The only difference now with Working now will be they'll have Guts weapon on this fight here, which I'm assuming that they'll use. And then when grabbing the magnet beam, we don't have to go through the whole, flipping through the wall and sneaking in there. Just grab the blocks.
Or he could clip through the wall, clip himself, or just take himself out.
Yeah, if he gets stuck. Yeah, that's also true.
Because I've seen people just do that for fun. They'll do the traditional clip and just guts himself out.
Yeah, we'll see. I wasn't expecting that. I literally was just about to say we're gonna see the same route happen for both races. It's like,
yeah, so generally at the higher level, you usually don't see any variance.
No, it's interesting though. It's I mean, hey, I'm not opposed to it.
No, I'm not opposed to it. I like seeing some difference.
See, ColonelFatso got that corner jump again first try. I can't overstate how easy the jump looks, but how not easy it actually is to do.
It's easy, but not easy. Really, I mean, you could always do the ADEF crawl.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll be seeing ColonelFatso is going to be coming up to the early magnet beam grab here again. So again, I was trying to explain it before. So you have to push shoot and down on the same frame to clip into the ladder, right, like that, and then you zip around. And ColonelFatso is just proving like, hey, I can do this, and I can do it really fast. Like that was a. So the only way that could have been better was you can get what's called the top exit, which you wrap around to the top of the screen, and then you grab the ladder from the top of the screen and just continue on that way. But that was Hey, I mean, I would take that 10 times out of 10 if that were me, if I got that magnet beam.
Yeah, I don't even think I can even get it that fast.
That was amazing, yeah.
Yeah, when I do it, I have to kind of change my grip to get the magnet beam grab.
Yeah, that was a good point in chat too. Yeah, Chiefs. So leaving that screen at 4 minutes and 1 second is really incredible pace, honestly. Yeah, so
he's just making this climb just look.
Yeah, and this is I was even saying this on the first race. Like this is arguably harder than the magnet beam grab. Honestly, this last climb here, made it look super easy. You can tell ColonelFatso's out on the revenge tour on this run. He's just dialed in. This is a great run so far.
He got all the mess ups out in the first run.
But I mean, let's not ignore the fact that Working is halfway through Electman stage now, which it may appear that he's behind, but he's already completed Gutsman stage, so it's kind of hard to tell who's where right now. If I had to guess, I would guess that ColonelFatso is in the lead just because Working had to do the slow guts in the platforms in the beginning. But
I would probably say like they'll probably be very close, but not huge.
Yeah. Okay, so Working is still going to go for the Magnet Beam grab here, but again, it got a little bit of insurance with the Gutsman weapon. So you see those 3 blocks right in front of that little section there? Those are the blocks you need Gutsman's weapon to throw out of the way. So.
Oh, I thought he was just going to jail himself just for fun and just climb his way out.
So this screen here that Fatso's on, again, it just features these RNG platforms. So anytime you see those platforms, I can assure you that the screen is scarier than it looks like it is. So look at that final zip setup there. So a really clean Iceman stage there.
I know what some people do for setting up like corridor zips is they'll bonk their head and try get it on the rebound down.
Yeah, that's my way of doing it, but I'm not consistent at all with it. So
no,
maybe I can.
That's how I was taught, and I am very inconsistent.
Yeah.
If I at least get 1 in out of the 6 robots, I'll be happy with 1.
So Working had a really good Luckman climb there too. Nice fight. And grabs that orb nice and high like we talked about earlier. So that's a good stage for Working as well. So I love this first zip of Fire Rain stage. It's just so minimal, but it saves so much time. It's a lot of fun. So yeah, the Magnet Beam, not only is it used to just set up all these zips, but again, it is a great utility just for platforming sake too, to get yourself to avoid climbing ladders, to, you know, all this other good stuff. So ColonelFatso gets a nice zip set up there. You're gonna skip all these screens.
That room that Fatso just left, if you don't do the zip like he set up, you can set up a Magnet Beam above the pit, and when you fall, you'll get that zip.
Working has a very flawless first part of Iceman stage 2. Gets that double zip over the big lake. Let's see, Fatso gets a good grab there. Nice zip. Working is going to set up this final zip with Iceman. Very good. So very nice ice from Working.
Oh, ooh! That didn't look like it was low enough, but I guess it was.
Yeah, the fire corridor is really tough with those turrets there, just kind of messing you up. So Working gets the double corridor zip
actually gives you the best like representation where you need to place it because of the little lines in the background.
That's also true, yeah. Got a very nice ice from Working, and a great Fire Rain stage from ColonelFatso.
And they finish almost near each other.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I mean, it seems like, you know, not to curse anything, you know, the classic, but it seems like both runners there so far have just kind of you know, completely forgot about the first race and are just completely dialed in. So.
That first race was just a warm up.
Yeah. Yeah, so Fatso's going to elect for using Ice instead of Magnet Beam on the first half of Bomb here, which is completely viable. The Magnet Beam strats to avoid the Sniper Gel are it's very precise, and this enemy is super annoying, so sometimes it's best just to, just freeze him and forget him.
Just freeze and go. Oh, Working was going for another zip.
Yeah, Working, he went for that one in the first race too. Didn't get there either, but it is a cool zip. It's funny because I was like, oh, this is like a fairly newer zip, but I'm like, well, it's not really newer. It's been like, you know, probably like 5 years ago at this point. But
it's newish.
Yeah, it's new compared to the other zips of the game. Yeah, but nice zip setup there for ColonelFatso. One important thing about that last zip and bomb stage too is there's two things. One, you have to make sure you're facing left before you initiate the zip, or else you're going to die immediately. And then you also have to make sure you push right when you get to the door to hit the door, otherwise you'll just zip right past it and die. So it's not just it's not just, you know, setting up the zip and then doing it, it's also you have to remember these two little things about it too. So, but again, another flawless stage from both runners in their respective stages. So this is just a pretty spicy race so far. Now, so yeah, I would say that, you know, ColonelFatso does have a lead right now because Gutsman stage is the shortest stage of the Robot Masters. And Bombman is it's on a little bit of the longer side of the Robot Masters, so. So barring any major mistakes, I believe that I will see ColonelFatso with a slight lead going into the Wily stages. We can see just so much faster.
I just feel it'll be a very minute lead, but probably not enough for working to be like, I'm sweating.
Well, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't, you know, yeah, I wouldn't say that, yeah. But you can see just how much faster the Magnet Beam makes that first half of Guts go. If you remember working, have to wait for all those platforms, where ColonelFatso just used the Magnet Beam, skipped over that whole section.
That Joe is out for blood.
Yeah, see, this is what I mean, like, with this, using the Magnet Beam to avoid that sniper jam. That's very difficult. With that zip in that working just did there, too, there's another little thing about that. You can't just zip. You have to make sure you're holding up to grab the ladder, otherwise you'll zip off the screen and you'll die. So it's like...
Yeah, there's a lot of that in this game.
Yeah, yeah. You may be noticing a theme. That's because there is one, yeah.
It's death and zips.
Yeah. Alright, ColonelFatso
gets the affirmation grab.
Yeah, just a nice
like a
celebration pose, yeah, if you will. So, now what was that? That was like a 1227 orb grab, I think, something like that. That's really good.
I think they're like, I think it was like a 1227 and like a 12.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Yeah, I was actually I thought it was gonna be more like, you know, 10, like over like 10 to 15 seconds, but it was actually a lot closer. Yeah.
Yeah, I was expecting like under 20, but not.
That's crazy. Yeah. All right, so we're into Wily 1. I see ColonelFatso taking a little bit of a safety by freezing these the big eyes here to save some health. You'll see on working screens just going to tank the damage. Basically just saves you a menu and some health. ColonelFatso gets the zip set up there. Very nice. Particular thing about this zip too, it's unlike the others where you have to delay your zip initiation just a little bit. Because if you zip right away, you're going to zip into the wall and you're gonna die. So, the way to initiate the zip too is like you place that zip beam in the perfect pixel placement, and then you jump up to the beam, and then you push left, and that's the game's basically gonna be like, oh, you're stuck in the ceiling, I need to push you out, so it pushes you to the right. That's basically how the zip works. Yeah, I can't state enough how scary this room is. This room is super scary. Nice to see both runners get through there, no problem.
And they're in the same room at the same time. Fatso definitely had a little bit of a scare in that last room.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, just a very, very slight lead by Fatso going into the Yellow Devil fight here. Well, I guess we talk about Yellow Devil now since we didn't get a chance to talk about it the first time. So... basically, once Yellow Devil forms on the side of the screen, his eyeball is going to spawn, I believe, in 3 different places. It's kind of random where it's going to spawn, and then you use the Electman's weapon, just get it in the hitbox, and then you're going to abuse the pause glitch there. Working with a little bit of scare too with that 2 HP, but we're pretty synced up here. We got, what, like maybe 2-3 seconds?
Something like that. It's very close.
Alright, into Wily 2. I'm going to make a bold assumption that neither runner is going to go for the the Wily 2 skips here. Yeah, so we're going to see Fatso jump.
I would assume not.
Yeah, I didn't think
Working
so.
probably might be knowing the situation that he's close.
Yeah, it's a good point. Actually, I believe that you might be right. Yeah, working actually might have a slight lead. You know, just based on like stream syncing and the timers. Yeah. Or it's pretty even, honestly. It's like
they probably are like dead even.
Yeah,
It's hard to tell.
Because I think on stream, like Fatso had like a 3-second lead, but the difference between their timers is like 3 or 4 seconds. So yeah, it's pretty close.
And why risk a potential soft lock / game over?
Yeah, I wouldn't expect anybody in this situation to go for those. Oh, nice. Both get it right at the same time. So we're gonna wrap around the screen here. You can see the screen's interesting, or the zip's interesting because it'll show you the actual screen that you're on a split second before like the screen loads in. So you have to make sure that you exit that screen wrap before that like third screen, I believe it is. Otherwise, you fall on spikes and you die. So
or you could jump up and go for one screen.
Yeah, it's a little scary there because again, if you do fall, like you do take a death. So, but we saw both runners just kind of exit the wall there and just finish it out. But so we can see the difference in style here. We see ColonelFatso with the top-down approach, working with the bottom-up approach, but both get the job done. You know, same, no difference. And pretty much a perfectly synced fight there on the restream. That's pretty cool. Yeah, yeah. Working was pretty close on that screen wrap, but you know, it's yeah. So this is so Wily3 here is gonna. We were talking about the dupes earlier. So it actually, yeah, it might come down to who can get the dupes here. Well, I guess so. So Working's going to take a slight lead here with just a faster setup for this Wily3 zip. Fatso with a more conservative approach. I think due to the fact that with the number of magnet beams there that they had. Oh, but unfortunately, I wasn't able to get that that last beam setup. So we're going to take this long walk here.
He's just taking a nice evening stroll.
Yeah, you can see, and then this, I mean, it just goes to show just how much time the zips save. The zip saves so much time. Working wasn't able to get any of the dupes though, so that could, I mean, that could factor into it here. We'll see how Fatso does when he gets to the fight. Hey, anything can still happen here, you know. Like, any of these, you know. So we'll see. This is far from over yet.
He could game over for all you know.
Dupe. There's one dupe.
Dupe.
There's one more. Ah, okay, I guess 2. That's pretty good. All right, we'll see how Working does here, setting up this final zip. Actually, okay, good. Working only has 1 magnet beam, so he's gonna pick up this refill and see how he gets this. Okay. Low on magnet beam, yeah. So Working does a smart thing there and just uses two magnet beams there instead of trying to set up that zip because they only have 1 left. Now we're gonna go for the refight skip, and it looks like he gets it. So, yeah. So Working is in there. Just comes down to the Wily fight here, which, as we've seen previously, especially at full health, is a you know, pretty. It's pretty much a done deal. So we'll see Fatso trying to initiate this zip. What you can do here too, yeah, is you can just wow, how come that didn't? Oh, there we go. I was gonna say you could just walk off the screen a little bit to respawn that refill to give you. It's actually faster than you know, taking the long walk there. And that's gonna be time for Working.
And Working just cooked up a new best time for a race PB at least.
Yeah, so Working will finish with the race time of 1941. Amazing run there, yeah. 1941 with in a guts first route 2, mind you.
Oh, absolutely.
Makes me feel great. My PB with the normal route is a 1941, so the fact that he did that doing guts first is just like, you know, it's like mind blowing to me.
Let the athletes run if they want to do an interview.
I see Fatso in the final Wily fight here. And it's gonna be time for Fatso. ColonelFatso gonna finish with a race time of 20:35. GG's. I mean, that was geez, I'll tell you that second race was amazing to watch. Was pretty much neck and neck the entire time. You know, the Wily 3-zip being the really the main decider there. But just goes to show like how just this game, you know, there's I don't know, like if it's I feel like there's no like minor mistakes in this game. Every mistake, like if you miss a trick in this game, it's gonna cost you a lot, especially in like a no reset situation here. So, but that was a fun one for sure. But very well done by both runners. But congratulations to Working. Working is gonna win this matchup 2-0, and we'll move on to the finals to face Endy. In the finals of the Speedgaming Live Mega Man All Stages tournament. And then it looks like we have both of our runners in here. Let's we'll see if we can bring them in to get their input on the race.
Hello, runners.
Hello.
GG's guys, that was really fun to watch and fun to call. That was awesome. I guess my first question, Working, because I was at the start of the second race, I was just about to say, you know, we're gonna see both runners, you know, start off and cut again, and then you went to guts first. What was I was kind of speculating, but what was your thought process about starting guts first in the second race?
Guts first is mainly just for fun, because I wanted to try it out and see how fast it can go, but also, it's to prevent soft lock as well.
Okay.
Since there has become a problem in like my no resets lately, so I went guts first.
Yeah, that's what we kind of figured too. Yeah, just to save on that, you know, potential. And I don't. As a question, when you do your races, do you have the restream open so you know kind of what's happening and where you're at, or?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
So I was very close at the end.
Yeah, and that was I mean, I was just saying too. I mean, it was like you basically tied my PB with guts first. So I'm like, you know, that's just mind blowing to me. So that was awesome to watch. So yeah, GG's on that. ColonelFatso, how are you feeling?
Well, I mean, it's whatever. It happens sometimes. It's unfortunate that it happened twice in a row, but you know, these things do happen. I knew I was gonna have to play like up to PB snuff if I wanted to be competitive, and unfortunately, the Satisfactory full launch happened like a week and a half ago, right after my last PB, and that ruined everything. I did not do a run since my PB until today. So it's just the way things work sometimes. You stop looking at the old shiny, you look at the new shiny, and suddenly you start getting in magnet jail or running into the Susie at the start of Wily 3.
Right, yeah. I guess so it seemed like I was gonna, because I was saying during that second race that like you were out for like vengeance. You know, you came out of the magnet beam grab, you came out of that screen, it was like 401, I think. I was out of that screen, and then like
I was on PB pace through 6.
Yeah, I was gonna say that checks out. Yeah, because that was you guys were pretty much neck and neck. What I feel like, what would you say, Conster? Like pretty much from
that second race was
the fourth Robot Master stage all the way to the beginning of Wily 3, basically.
I feel you're within like maybe 5 to 10 seconds of each other. even though it's just really hard to tell.
Yeah. Couple things were like I don't want to say like consistently bad, but like I'm just thinking about how for example, quick setup for the checkpoint zip in Bomb failed that both times. Like I had difficulties in the footholder room in Wily 1 both times.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just like things that had I continued playing consistently throughout the month probably wouldn't have been issues. But you don't really control. You don't really control sometimes what's grabbing your attention. So it's fine.
Sure.
It's whatever.
Yeah, for sure. No. Yeah, no. I mean, again, like I said, both of you, performed really well, especially after the first race. You both came out just like just on it and just on fire, and it was really cool to see. Yeah. Hey, so working. How are you feeling? So you're going to be moving on to the finals to face Endy for the for the championship, if you will. How are you feeling about that matchup coming?
I'm super excited about the matchup. I think Andy definitely has the advantage over here being the more experienced and consistent runner, I would say, but yeah, I'm looking forward to meeting up with him and hopefully we can have some close races.
Yeah, I think your PBs are like 2 seconds apart on the leaderboards. So yeah, it's gonna be a good one for sure. But again, this was a lot of fun. Thank you guys. Again, make sure you give these guys a follow over at their Twitch channels. Two very accomplished speedrunners. Do you guys have any parting words for us?
Sure, I guess, yeah. I was looking for a little bit more PB out of my participation in this tournament, and I am going to be busy for the next month, not just with Satisfactory, but with another tournament in other games. So I'm going to be away for a little bit, but I'm thinking about returning for the end of the year and trying to get something really good. Like now that my time limit is gone. Now that there's no longer a time limit on my participation, I might not only try for 1925 or whatever my original target was. I might think about doing something a little bit more sustained and going for an 18 or whatever. Just a nice capstone for my involvement in Mega Man 1, right? Yeah. So that's possibly in the pipeline.
Awesome.
And I'm also excited to see the finals step.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun one for sure. Well, yeah, I would definitely look forward to you playing more of this game because you are, you're one of the best, and
we need more Mega Man.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. I'm really hoping my PB in this game is 8 years old, and I've come back to this game 4 or 5 times since then, and I'm so overdue myself.
Yeah, my PB is extremely old, and I told myself I want to get sub 20 at least. And then see where I go from there.
Yeah, it's a fun game though. Working. Any last words before we head out for the night?
About the same. Please, I think I will hope to see more Mega Man, especially after these tournaments. And yeah, thank you to everyone who raised here. It was fun practicing Mega Man 1 a bit. It's a chill game.
Yeah, for sure. It was definitely fun to, I kind of just joined on a whim too, but I'm glad I did because it was really fun to play this game again. It always kind of sucks me back in. So, but yeah, go ahead.
I got a question. Who do you, between us and chat, do you think Working will win or Eddie is gonna win in the final?
Yeah, I hate to disappoint Working in the same voice chat as him, but I do think that Endy's experience advantage is extremely compelling.
Yeah,
I think it's gonna be a really close set of races, and anybody could win. But
yeah,
if you forced me to say who I think will win, I do think it's gonna be Endy.
Yeah, it's tough to say. I personally think it'll go 3 races. but yeah, we've seen Andy's past 2 matchup go to a game 3. So you know, yeah, anything can happen in this game, and I think it's going to be a good.
Anything can and will happen.
Yeah, but yeah, I think that's gonna that'll do it for us then. Make sure you stay tuned to Speed Gaming. Keep an eye on the schedule for our finals matchup, which will you know, take place soon. So thank you everyone for tuning in. Once again, give these guys a follow at their Twitch channels, and make sure you follow along all the other Speed Gaming channels. Awesome content going on all the time. Yeah, so that's gonna be it. Have a good night, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
All right, later.
Later.
Yep.